last night, you guys, Femi would get attacked by Jasper Troy, like 2 hours before the main event match, would slam Femi through the car windshield. So with that being said, you guys, it was kind of wondering what Femi win his championship. Of course, Jasper Troy, still would attack Femi on the outside. He was seen later in the show, though, that he was being checked on by WWE's medical staff. And with that being said, you guys, Jasper Troy, I'm not even going to lie to you guys, he looked it dominant, and he looked as if, he's been wrestling for at least about 4 or 5 years or so. And he's a massive dude. Can't wait to see what he's going to do in NXT even more. So I don't know if he's coming off as a heel, if he's coming off as a babyface trying to dethrone the ruler. Could we see another match between these two one more time? But there was a part in there where Jasper Troy threw Femi into the turnbuckle and it popped loose. And I was like, oh God. I was like, this dude is massive. And he was one of Booker T's guys. And so we did have a botch part right here by when Femi was trying to pin him, and we ended up getting like where the referee kind of bots the thing. And so with that being said, you guys, Femi would go for his finisher one more time and actually, got the shoulders down of Jasper Troy. So Femi would retain his championship. And yeah, All Ego Ethan Page did start off the show where he had his match one-on-one with Evolve star, I forgot his name, Sean Legacy. Sean Legacy is a great competitor in everything, and but it was no match to where where All Ego Ethan Page saw the opportunity and was able to retain his NXT North American Championship. So Ethan Page, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys as well on this one. Ethan Page is a great wrestler, even though he's kind of cocky, kind of arrogant and everything, but he definitely does the job when need be. Of course, we did get Ricky Saints with the patch on his neck, selling the injury that he pretty much received when was it, 2 weeks ago, when he lost his North American Championship. And I was like, dang, this is crazy, y'all. And with that being said, they would go back there and fight to the back. And I was like, okay, what are we doing here? Are we still setting up for them having a rematch, somewhere later down the line? Is he going to have one match and Ethan Page is going to lose it, or he's going to win it, or how WWE is actually going to present this? And with that being said, you guys, we did see where the Rock's daughter, Simone Johnson, a.k.a. Ava. But yeah, you guys, she told Ricky Saints to, pretty much go home, get some, make sure, he's okay and he can't come back until he's medically cleared. Now, Shawn Michaels was seen with Mr. Iguana's, Iguana pet. And, that's the big trend that's going around all across social media. And, of course, kids would definitely want those Mr. Iguana. So we did see a lot of the stars there. You got Psycho Clown, you got Mr. Iguana, you got Octagon Jr., and I can't remember the last guy name. I think it's Dr. Wagner. But, yeah, you guys, they're going to be on NXT at some point. I can't wait to see. Hopefully it's Great American Bash, but we'll see. The Glamour, a.k.a. y'all know her as Mariah May from AEW. She made her presence felt last week on NXT by making her appearance up in the little box area. Now we did, you guys, get a little video package where they were showing she was doing something similar to Toni Storm. Now I've seen a lot of people were talking about this, on X/Twitter, where they were saying she's pretty much trying to act like a Toni Storm, which I don't think so. I think she's doing most of her own thing. But they did reveal that her name would be Blake Monroe. Now, of course, she has a niece that's named Blake, or nephew that's named Blake. And so, I think she picked this name, for herself. A lot of people, say, oh, that's a stupid name for her to come up with. But then again, it is what it is. So we did get Easy Dame back there talking to Sean Spears, saying that she seen Brooks Jensen, not a part of the group. And he was like pretty much overall half-assing or whatever. And, he dressed differently than they do. He didn't wear, what they wear. So of course they did. Sean Spears and Nico, I can remember the last name, did have a one-on-one match. Did have a tag team match against Brooks Jensen and Itamura, I think that's how you say his name. But of course, Izzy Dame, is she the leader of the group of some sort? I'm not 100% sure. I would love to know you guys' thoughts and your opinions on this, because it seems like, she's definitely doing, all the good things. Like, I feel like she's going to take over the group, within the next couple of months. Lash Legends, she had a very short match. This is like her first match, I think, back. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, since, she didn't have Jakara Jackson in a tag team with her. Now, with that being said, you guys, she did fight Rand Sinclair, which she's from the No Quarter Catch crew. And so Lash Legend had a new theme song, by the way, as well. But I felt like it was very, it was very bland. The music was kind of like something like some kind of beat you would make, on a computer or something like that. But of course, we did get, I can't remember this girl name that's from Evolve. She went one-on-one with the new NXT, the new NXT Women's Champion. Excuse me, y'all. But last week, she made her presence felt and saying, she was like, "Hi, y'all," and nobody didn't know like who she was. And so it was pretty funny. But she had her match against the NXT Women's Champion, like I said, JC Jane. And so with that being said, after JC Jane defeated the girl, Ava said she's going to have 4 matches next week. And the winner, I think maybe a fatal 4-way or 4 matches or something she said last night. And the winner is going to be going to face JC Jane. So I think more so it may be Mariah May. It could be somebody else, but they're going to fight at Evolution. I really didn't care about this segment at all. This segment was pretty much Chase U and the other 2 guys, I can't remember their name, when they got their butts beat by Dark State last week in a, gruesome, bad match, and it doesn't really bother me. But we did get Top Dollar. Well, y'all know him as Top Dollar, and the other guy that he's always with on TNA. I know y'all guys probably don't watch TNA, but you guys probably seen like highlights of it. But you guys, seen that, and they said they want the tag team championships. We haven't seen much of Hank and Tank like we did when we seen Fraxium. Now that Fraxium has moved on to the main roster, like I said, we don't see much of Hank and Tank. So, of course, Elias said that that Trick Williams wouldn't have been TNA World Champion if it had not been for Top Dollar. So I wonder if if Trick Williams and those 2 guys are working with them. Now, we did get an appearance, you guys, with Psycho Clown and also Octagon Jr. They were out there in the NXT crowd. WWE really wants all those luchadors that they had on the show, and there's Mr. Iguana again. I think that's Dr. Wagner, and Dr. Wagner is a pretty damn good wrestler, y'all. And also Mr. Iguana, he's very entertaining, and I know they're going to use him to his fullest. So hopefully WWE does more and more shows, with AAA. Now, of course, we did get where the No Quarter Catch crew was talking to the clone Randy Orton, Miles Bourne, and pretty much told him, hey, he said, thank you for your match and so on and so forth. And then now Javon Evans would come out there, come backstage and be a little petty. And now Tavon Heights wants a match, and he wants to beat Charlie Dempsey so he can get out the No Quarter Catch crew. So so Tavon Heights, I feel like he'll be a great competitor, and I feel like he'll do great on his own as well. And I feel like if somebody can get teach him on a mic, I feel like he'll be even greater. Now, Crucifino and The Dawn did have a tag team match, you guys, where they ended up facing I can't remember this other team's name, you guys, because if I don't see you on TV constantly, or if I don't know you from another company or seen you before, I really don't know your name. But anyways, you guys, they would pretty much lose their match, where the Don actually lost, took the pinfall, and that's when Crucifino had a crowbar in his hand, was about to clock the Don across the head or the back with that crowbar. And of course, that's when he jumped out the ring, and then the Don doesn't know who to trust at all. And so it was like it was crazy, you guys. So I'm wondering where this gonna lead to. The Dawn getting packed up by Crucifino and Stack. So yeah, like I said, the Dawn did actually lose his match, and he actually got pinned. I'm like, dang. I was like, so this guy here was defeated by a North American was defeated by a North American champion. So with that being said, you guys, next week on NXT, we will get Blake Monroe sign her NXT contract, and wonder how this is going to go. I feel like it's going to go great. I feel like he's going to be like the next top star on the show. So can't wait for that, you guys. Like, comment, subscribe to Chris Wrestling Views here on YouTube.com. Next time, you guys, I'll see you guys for Friday Night SmackDown review or any more wrestling news that I may have come up. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.